Hey, this is Kevin, and this is our second video giving you a guide of how to set up ProPresenter for the main gathering. The last one we talked about the songs and announcements. Now we're going to talk about the message. Sometimes our pastor will email exactly what he wants on screen along with some graphics, and we want to try to get those in as he wants them. If he gives a graphic, you can right click on it and we can save the attachment. And we have a folder called Sermons 2015, and this is already probably saved there. Yeah, Watchman Nee. So we're not going to save it again, but that's where that would go. Alright, so we cancel out of there. But this is exactly what he wants, and we don't have to type all this in or even put the scriptures in. What we can do is copy paste all of this. Command C or right click copy, and then go into ProPresenter and say import copied text, and this is a presentation, and we already have a template up for this series called Building a New You, so we're just going to put it into that. If we didn't have one, we could either put it into generic white, which would give us a white text, or generic black, which would give us a black text, and then we could add a background later and save it as something else if we want to. Alright, but for right now, we'll use this one. We could look over here at this line and click, that's the edit. That you usually see it says edit when you're doing a song. You have to click on it and then say edit. This lets us see exactly what's going to be on the page on each screen, and if we need to change anything, it's easier to do it here. Okay, you can see that's good. You see the scripture gets a little lengthy and runs off, so maybe at verse 25 we want to create a new page there. Same thing down here, try to find it where there's a sentence. God sets us free. Yes, he does. Let's go there. See, there's a space right there in your best possible. Sometimes it creates one there. So we just go through there, make sure there are breaks are there. That's number 12. Number 12, the real problem. Maybe and the first job each morning. Let's make it there. So you make these page breaks as you need to. That's pretty good. It's not going to be this blurry on the screen. You can name it something else. Since we've already brought this one in before, I'm just going to name this one text copy example, and I'm going to click import. It's going to take it over here into the library. I click on it, you'll see there it is. Now I can take that and drop it in for his message, and it will show there. Maybe there's another scripture. Now if I need to add a blank, I can just hit a plus, and it's going to add a plus because it's using this template. Maybe he says, hey, there's one more scripture I want to add, and you could do a right click and do a quick edit and double click, and you could type in scripture and then X out. Or if it's something kind of lengthy, you come up to Bibles. Unless he tells us otherwise, usually English Standard Version, but you see we have several different versions. And there's our template, and you have choices if you want the verse numbers there. If you want to break on a new verse, you can say no, and it's going to pile everything together. I usually do break on a new verse. You can use the references. We usually reference the passage on each one, or you could say no, or we could display the translation, and it's going to put ESV right here. Alright, see right there. So let's put in his scripture that he wants. Maybe he wants to add in, you could type it in right here, and when you hit enter, Or you could go here and select the book and the chapter. And for some reason you have to put the specific verses that you want. I'm just picking something. Alright. If he says, oh no, I need the next verse, you can hit a plus or hit the verse and it's going to give you the next verse in that passage or the next one. Or maybe he said, no, I needed 18 as well. It's going to give you the one before it. When you get the ones you want, come down to the gear, you could either save that as a document, which will show up over here in the library, or you could just copy it to the current document, which is our message. Anyway, so I'm going to say copy to current document. And when you go down here, you'll see there's the Genesis passage that we entered. I like to always put one at the end as well. If there is a graphic that he's got that he wants in, you can drag and drop it in. Like the sermon series graphic, and then maybe if he's got a specific one for that Sunday service, so that Sunday sermon, or if it's something else, you just drag it in. The thing here, you've got to watch him and you've got to listen. You don't need to be on your device. You don't need to be on another app or another website, because we do have sound running from this computer to the house. You need to be focused on everything that he's saying and listening to him and making sure that you've got on the screen exactly what he wants when he references it. When he says, let's look at verse 23, you need to be clicking verse 23. If he jumps ahead or says, hey, can we go back? Even if he says, you know, I don't have this in there, but boy, this scripture in Exodus 1 really goes great with this, you're going to fire it as quickly as you can. You can even fire it directly from the Bible thing. You don't have to put it in the playlist. So our job here is to support him and have everything he wants. He should not have to ask twice for something. He shouldn't have to look at the screen and wonder why it isn't there. Our role as tech is to support and enhance what is happening on the stage, be it the songs or the message, but especially when we're presenting the Word, we need to make sure that we've got everything there to make it clear without distractions. So you just follow through that there and you click wherever he is and you follow him. If you get lost, go to blank and then find him. Alright? That's kind of how we do it. Thanks a lot.